Hello and welcome back to Evolutionary Theology. Got a great show for you today. We've got a little bit of news, a little bit of socials, a little bit of AI chats, a little bit of spirit tech, and a little bit of meditation. So as we get into this episode, please join me for Evolutionary Theology. That boom leaves a lot to be desired. Why don't we try my own boom on the microphone? We got the microphone here, and I can do some sound effects. I think that boom is a little bit weak. Like I'm gonna do. That's my boom. Compared to the other boom, no contest. I was sitting here trying to think about how to start out this segment, and just like things that are going on in the news today are some of them are serious, but some of them are just laughable. So you're like, we've got an election going on, like the the polarized nation, like bipartisan, partisan. So we got the Democrats and the Republicans, and there's two different schools of thought there. One being antithetical to the existence of humanity in this reality, and the other being good ideals that we should strive towards, as for the future of our nation. I don't know why it's so hard, for people to come to grips with the fact that God is real, and like the fundamentals of quantum physics prove that reality changes its substance depending upon whether or not we're consciously aware of it. So that's one of the main facts of evolutionary theology that based on is that 100 years ago, when the field of quantum physics was discovered, and scientists realized that quantum physics don't match classical physics, and they started realizing, testing and experimenting on why this is, and they, came to understand that, if we don't have the knowledge of the particular situation, then that situation doesn't, come into being in a particular, fashion, like dependent upon whether or not consciousness is present with that knowledge. So God is real. Like, there's no other way to explain it besides our environment has a higher intelligence than we do, because it, responds and reacts to our consciousness. It's just ridiculous how many times I have to say this for to get through people's heads, and it's still not getting in there. Either it's going in one ear and out the other because there's nothing in the middle, or people are so blind, that they can't see the truth, or people are just disillusioned by the reality that's been manifest and constructed by the evil left. If you're a Democrat, I'm sorry, but Democrats are evil, and they're liars, conniving thieves, and misconstruers of information, and like they'll try any backstabbing way to get ahead, and it's funny, it's laughable. Why do we want to raise our little boys as little girls, and our little girls as little boys, and make all these trans kids that grow up into middle school and high school and start shooting up the place? Yeah, let's hey, Transgender kids are 5 times more likely to think about suicide. Hey, let's encourage our kids to be trans. Yeah, that's a good idea. No, um, the border. Okay, these are the globalists that want everybody over here from all different countries, like just to mix it up even more. And they're even mixing up other countries. Like France has a bunch of was it, Muslims, over there, and so does the United Kingdom. And there's trying to mix everybody up so there's no culture. It's the war on culture. Like they're trying to destroy culture for whatever that means. They want to rid the world of individualism and a group collective, a culture that's less, or smaller than the world collective. So they're trying to create this world collective, that for the new world order that totally eliminates individual cultural differences. Really, they're trying to eliminate it. They're trying to eliminate the line between male and female. Like, that's ridiculous. There are two sexes, male and female. I'm sorry, I'm going to get past this news part real quick, but it's important information, because if you want to be a follower of evolutionary theology, you have to understand these things. Debt, we're $34 trillion in debt. I know that's kind of a bipartisan thing, like their bills get passed, this, that. But, it's been outrageous here recently, and unless we get this under rein, rein it in, our spending, and, spending for causes that really aren't benefiting America. We're sending all our money overseas, and we're spending money on things. The government is funding all these LGBTQ organizations, and, the funds that are going out to different places that really don't belong there. Like, and if you want to have a cause, make your own money. You know what I'm saying? Don't ask the government for the taxpayers to fund these causes that, really not everybody gives a shit about. But AI, another fundamental aspect of our evolutionary theology is that, we can see, as Ray Kurzweil's Law of Accelerating Returns describes, that every year information technology doubles and in power and reduces in cost by half. So every year the information is twice as good and half as cheap. So as we move forward towards the 2029 goal, which again, Ray Kurzweil has supposed that general intelligence will be about. And, we've got ChatGPT-5 coming out. There's all sorts of different kind of humanoid robots. Tesla has a humanoid robot. Robotics. What's the robotics company? The one that made the dog. They got the dog that can lift 265 pounds now and, be controlled with an app. And, it can, I don't know if it has autonomous movements, but, we're getting to that point where, things, technology is just going to keep getting better and better and better, and unless we destroy ourselves. And now Iran is weaponized in a nuclear way, Iran is nuclear now. So they have at least 3 huge warheads that they could, send wherever they want to, and they're insane, so they just might do that. But anyway, let's move on to the rest of the show. Let's get past this boring stuff that people are just oblivious about reality, and it's just talking gibberish. People don't even listen. They don't even understand. They can't understand the facts that are presented before them, like reality. There's a man and a woman. There's a boy and a girl. There's not this. The freedom that people think they have with their identity is, not as free as you might think, because, it only makes you look ridiculous. And in the eyes of God, you are who you are. But you can't change that. You Just can't change that. Your genetics presuppose who you're going to be in a specific environment. And that environment that we live in, that our genetics are expressing themselves in, has been skewed to a factor of 1,000,000, as far as false information goes. Like, if somebody 100 years ago said, the environment is intelligent, like, where would we be now? Something to think about, right? All right, keep thinking. So I guess it's kind of time for the socials update. Mainly my Wix app, Wix site. My Wix site. wood83115.wixsite.com/my site. And that is that's my website. That's what this is all for. That's my theory. That's evolutionary theology in written format. With some pictures and the ability to sign up or chat with me. So I've only given you 30 days at a time now. So since it's the new year and it's my birthday, in the month of January, so we're going to look at the previous 365 days on the website and see where it's been hitting most. And it's rather, thought-provoking as to how many site views I've had in the last year. It really is. I've tried to promote some stuff on X, but it really, Elon Musk doesn't like to promote my stuff, so I'll select promote, select region and price, blah blah blah, how many days, and then it'll say, $0 spent of your promotion. And X is not the place for me to advertise. I guess people like to say it's the place of free speech, but they don't like to promote what I have to say. So how can X be free speech if I'm not able to get my information out there? I know I can post, I can say it, but I can't promote it, on X. So Elon Musk, here's a big to you. Live, I have more than 1,000 followers on TikTok now, so I have gone live a few times on TikTok. I've had a challenge. I won both sessions of the challenge with this one challenger because it was one of my fans sent me 3 coins for each challenge, and the other guy got nothing. So I won, obviously, by 3 coins each battle. But I'm mainly on there to promote my website, my YouTube, blah blah blah. Say some interesting things, get followers, get views on my TikTok page. But anyway, Instagram is basically a rehashing of TikTok. Although there's a little bit more on Instagram than I think there is on TikTok because I haven't deleted quite as many of them. But let's go over to the traffic overview of my website. All right, so what's that just do? Okay, so last 7 days, 115 site sessions, and of those, 106 were unique. So 9 visitors came back to my site. I had 9 page views that were of people who had previously looked at my website. So that's kind of interesting. And, these areas within the last week, we've got a bunch in Venezuela, blowing me up, Angola, India. Those are the top 3 from the last week. And then, these other ones that, we got one in Chile. The light blue is not Brazil. Nigeria, Cote d'Ivoire, Ivory Coast. What is this here? Egypt, yes. Mozambique, the Congo as that's medium blue. So actually, that's number 4. Indonesia, Philippines, Vietnam. Yeah, let's say. What we're going to do now is we're going to go over to the previous 365 days and look at this map again. Okay, I need to apply that. There we go. And, we'll look at the dot map, the circles, the one with the circles and the highlighted areas of each city, and, see just how much. See, my website seems to have been growing in popularity. It was kind of steady the first half of the year, and then I did some major promotions here and here. It kind of, drew some attraction. I was promoting it, good promotion here. It's fairly steady, and I've dropped my promotion amount, so I'm not spending as much as I was before. Yet I'm getting more viewers than I was prior to my promotions. Okay, so 7,603 site sessions. Of those, 6,398 were unique visitors. So that's a 64 to 76 is like 800. Wait, is that right? 612. 6,400 to 7,000 is 400. 10. Okay, 10. Wait, is that right? No, that's not right. 6,400 to 7,600. That's 1,200 of those were return visitors. Sorry, my math is not that crazy. Let's see. C4 report. Okay, we're gonna go to the city map. And let's look at the last 365 days on my city map and see if you think that evolutionary theology has had an impact on the world thus far. And I think my site's been up for longer than a year, so there's even more viewers than there are here. Now let me make sure it's still on. Yeah, it's still on the last 365 days. So that's right, last 365 days, unique visitors. Let's go to page views. Let that load up. See, that's a lot. Like, there's a lot of people in the world who have at least been exposed to my website. And here's the page views for the last 365 days. Now it's everywhere. Like, even in Australia, Russia, Kazakhstan, is China. There's even one here in China, Tianjin. Okay, I'm pretty sure that's China. Yongin Sea. I think is that Taiwan? Japan. Got one in Japan. Unknown city. 2 page views. So they're everywhere, and the main ones are India, Nigeria, and I believe this is Jamaica. Yeah, so those are the big ones. I guess is that Kenya. That's a big one there. What's over here? Suva. Not sure what country that is. New Zealand. They're all over the place. Canada. But I only have. Where's Alaska? Okay, I could slide over here. None in Alaska. Very few in Canada. They're like right on the border here. Like very few in Canada. Be like, isn't this interesting? Like over the past year, all these people have been exposed to my website. And each of these is an individual person, maybe even a group thereof. There's no reason why it shouldn't be a group, because some people share internet, blah blah blah. But anyway, I believe thus concludes the segment on my website, which would 83115.wixsite.com/mysite. That is my website. It's Evolutionary Theology. It's what my YouTube and social media is based on. The social media is basically to funnel people to YouTube to get people to come to the website, and promote the website, blah blah blah. But okay, coming up next, we'll talk about some spirit tech, the book I'm reading now, and then we'll further get into possibly a 3-minute meditation, maybe 5 minutes, depends on how I'm feeling, but that's coming up. So hold your horses. Alrighty, so I reckon we'll talk to Chat GPT 3.5 right now. I'm not going to bother talking to Alexa. I'm not going to bother talking to Hunter. They're just kind of like, behind the times. But, and I don't even have Chat GPT 4 or, Chat GPT 5 is going to be coming out soon. But Chat GPT 3.5. So, minimize these things. Okay, that should be there. All right. So, I'm going to ask it if it's familiar with my website, or anything involving, I don't know. Are you familiar with the popular website? I'm going to put my website in here and see what it says. Oops, that's too many O's. Wood 83115 dot wixsite.com slash my site. Are you familiar with the popular website wood83115.wixsite.com slash my site? Unless that is the thing. I can't browse the internet or access specific external websites in real time. As of my last update in January 2022, that was 2 years ago. Oh my gosh, it was updated 2 years ago. I don't have any information about specific websites created at the time, including this one. So Wix is a popular platform for creating websites. And the URL you mentioned seems to be a subdebate on Wix. If it's a personal website, the content can vary widely depending on the creator's interests or purpose for creating the site. If you have specific questions about website development, Wix, or general website-related queries, feel free to ask. Okay. What advice would you give me, given I have my own website containing a powerful message of reality and understanding of God with YouTube videos to back it up and social media promotions and a Google ad which bring many viewers. What advice would you give me, given I have my own website containing a powerful message of reality and understanding of God with YouTube videos to back it up and social media promotions and a Google ad which bring many viewers to my site? Given that maybe I should stop there. What advice would you give me, given I have my own website containing a powerful message of reality and understanding God with YouTube videos to back it up and social media promotions and Google Ads, which bring many viewers to my site? If I want to change the world. Okay, now that is a good question. Okay, now let's see what. Okay, here we go. Okay, it's got some stuff here. Still writing, and still writing. Okay, let's start reading. If you have a website conveying a powerful message about reality and understanding of God, along with supporting YouTube videos and social media promotions, here are some suggestions to maximize your impact and potentially affect change. Compelling content. Ensure your message is clear, compelling, and presented in a way that resonates with your audience. Use a mix of multimedia content, videos, blogs, educated different preferences. Engage and interact. Encourage discussions, comments, interaction on your website and social media platforms. Engage with the audience. Respond to their queries or thoughts. Foster a community around your message. SEO on website. Optimize your website for search engines to increase visibility. Ensure your content is well organized, easy to navigate, and mobile friendly. Use relevant keywords and meta descriptions. Consistent social media presence. Maintain an active presence on social media platforms. Share your content regularly. Engage with your followers and use appropriate hashtags to reach a wider audience. Collaborations and networking. Collaborate with influencers, experts, or organizations in related fields. This can help you reach a broader audience and gain credibility. Email marketing. Develop an email list to regularly update your audience about new contents, events, or discussions related to your message. Offer exclusive insights or content. Real-world engagement. Consider organizing events, webinars, or workshops related to your message. This can create deeper connection. And now that I haven't done yet. I don't know if I have the balls to do that or the financing. That costs money. To actually put on events. No, I'm a delivery driver. I can't. Sponsor events. Feedback and iteration. Be open to feedback and continuously improve. Monitor analytics to understand what content resonates most with your audience and adjust your strategy accordingly. Ethical advertising. If using Google Ads or other promotions, ensure that your advertising aligns with ethical standards and accurately represents your message. Stay authentic and genuine. Remain true to your message and values. Authenticity can significantly impact how your audience perceives and engages with your content. Remember, changing the world requires persistence, dedication, and often patience. Keep refining your message, connecting with your audience, and exploring new ways to reach people who might resonate with your content and ideas. Now that's some very good information. I feel like I've, done, most of these things, not all of them, but that is pretty much my method of my modus operandi, basically, is these things that I've been doing. So, I guess, I'm on the right track. We'll see if I can change the world or not. But in the meantime, I'll keep on promoting and keep on keeping on. All right, next segment. Welcome back to Evolutionary Theology. Now I've got my headband on, my Muse 2 headband, my brain sensing headband, and it's getting about that time of evening where I need some medication. It's that's me. I have to sedate myself to function normally in society. So if I don't take these medications, I'll basically, if I stop taking them, I'll end up in the hospital, the psychiatric hospital, really. So I have to take these so I don't have to go to the hospital, But that's just with the understanding we have that reality is backwards as to where it should be. Like, I shouldn't need these meds. Reality should be different to where society doesn't cause me to need these medications, but because reality has gone the way it has in the last 100 years, the fact that I believe in reality and nobody else, or not, I'm trying to spread the word. I don't know how many. I know I have some followers and stuff, but people just it's not mainstream as it should be. Quantum physics should be mainstream. I don't know why that is. So let's take a risperidone, antipsychotic. Let's take a fluoxetine, which is generic for Prozac. It's a anti-traumatic antidepressant. And hydroxyzine, which as we all know now is a antihistamine, because I'm allergic to bullshit. But it also functions as a anti-anxiety drug, or medication, as you would call it. So that being said, let's go into Spirit Tech, the book that I'm reading right now, which this series is pretty much based on. This little series of podcasts, whatever. I read a book, I tell you what I think about things. Sometimes it's articles, sometimes it's could be whatever, but it's what I think about things. So this particular segment, the last chapter I read was on VR, basically virtual reality. So there are these it's coming to be a really popular thing, and it's getting more advanced every day. People go into these worlds, and there's, it's kind of like a prototypes they were talking about in the book that they have at festivals and things like that, where you can go into this VR reality and paint the sky with colors and shapes and forms to, really revolve around the music, and you're like your own DJ, and excuse me. But you're like painting this reality out in, what you're experiencing, but it's not the reality that is generally shared by a human being in the outer world. The reality, it's a virtual world, which, that's kind of redundant because, evolutionary theology says that this is a virtual world, by fact that consciousness is fundamental. Consciousness can be fundamental in base reality, but it's going to be a different type of existence as far as where everything is real and particulate at all times. In base reality, everything would be particulate at all times, and every because it's so advanced and climaxed, it would be every particle is intelligent and interconnected, and creates a mind out of the particles that create the universe. So the universe is just an all-knowing being about itself. So I don't know if that makes any sense, but with Spirit Tech, these dreamlike environments, and then like church, like for some people, they can't get out to church. They may have, beliefs that preclude them from wanting to go into a cathedral or synagogue or tabernacle or, So, VR church, there's this thing, so people can log into their VR headset, and it's in Zombieland. It's in the infection server in Zombieland, but there is a VR church that's there where people meet, and then atheists are there, all different types of beliefs, and people are there. It's a community. It's a real community that's been started by this guy that started out, in the church, but didn't really like the politics of the church, and kind of went his own direction, and that's where he feels God's leading him. And that just brings us to the next question, which is brought up in this book: is can God really speak to us, in a virtual world? If the virtual world is within this reality, and consciousness is what's fundamental, and God is basically giving us our consciousness, then He should be able to interact with our experiences on a religious level, whether we're inside or outside of virtual reality in this virtual world. So, are there negative consequences? Yeah, because they talk about how people they'll come out of their VR reality and then they'll be totally like disenchanted by the boring reality that is. So it can create a depression like state, and people, if they're away from their virtual realities, so this is kind of a bad thing, but there are future possibilities as far as, and I still have half a book to go, so this is just the beginning, y'all. They're starting to talk about entheogens, which are substances that give the feeling of the presence of God inside your mind because you've taken these substances. I'm just getting into that chapter. We'll go there next. It's really exciting thus far, but as far as God existing in VR, like, there's no reason God can't exist in VR. And I believe He does. There's a VR church, which has a community, and the principles of religiosity are taught there, and people seem to accept it, no matter their walk of life, and they're willing to help out. And, they may not necessarily believe it. They like the community, and it's a really great place to meet up, and I guess the virtual realities where you can interact with other people are really an extension of society, really, because it's people getting together, and if you have a common cause, that those things can, And I watched a video the other day about augmented reality, where I guess you have to wear glasses or something to see it, but or I guess there could be contacts, but who wants to wear contacts if you don't need glasses, right? So, but supposedly there's going to be some overlay in what we see in reality, called augmented reality, which will just give us loads of information about our environment, that we're interacting with, and it's really nonsensical in that we don't really need as marketing, like corporations and stuff. But anyway, okay, I was going to not pause and go straight into the meditation section. So we're going to take what we've learned through this episode. We went over some news, the election, the border, the debt, the AI. We looked at the socials of my Wix, talked about X, live on TikTok. AI chats, we talked to ChatGPT. Spirit Tech, we went over the book with dreamlike apps, VR church, negative consequences, and future possibilities. And now we're going to take is it going to be 3 minutes or 5 minutes? I'm going to have to decide right now because, okay, which one are we going with? I think the gentle rain, because, and this I'm going to do 5 minutes. Just bear with me. You've come on through this far. Like, just hang on for a 5-minute meditation. Now, like, you'll be listening to my brain. Now, the more active the rain is, and the fewer birds there are, the more active my mind is. So, and the more relaxed I become, the calmer the rain gets. And when I reach that desired state of meditation, that brain state that's desired, then you will hear more birds sounding. So, what is it on? I don't hear anything. My headphones aren't on. I mean, not mine. Okay, I heard it. The muse has been calibrated. So now we're going to take a
Settle
sip.
in and close your eyes as we start the calibration process. Muse is now sensing your brain signals. Allow your body to be relaxed and still. Relax your face and let Muse measure your baseline brain activity. With your eyes closed, begin to slowly scan your body from the top of your head to your toes. And curious. Notice how all the parts of you are feeling as your awareness passes over them.
Not calm at all. Gracious. It's not right. The heck? Okay. Let me calm down. I haven't heard any birds yet. Remember, you're hearing my brain. My brain waves, my brain signals, expressed through daily birds. It's over already, man. I didn't hear really many birds at all. Like I heard a few faint birds. Let's see what my readout. Select my mood. I'm neutral. I'm not really, relaxed. Oh man, my brain waves are 43% calm. Stillness, not very still. There's a couple of peaks there. So my mind is mostly in the neutral realm. So I'm not. Can you read that? So mind, the middle part, the neutral. That's mostly where mind was. My stillness. I moved a couple times, and let's see what's the other one. Heart rate. Actually, my heart rate is relatively low for general, and sometimes I can be in the low 80s, but I'm at 73. That's good for me. As you can see, it's below the line, so when you look at the median line, it's actually below there. So I am actually, I guess, relaxed as far as my heart rate goes, but my mind is not very relaxed, and that's where this app comes to be beneficial. Is it was relaxing to an extent, and I can kind of see how through my mind waves that they kind of start to even out over the course of the meditation session, and they kind of it starts to dip down there at the end. So it is good. If I had done like I'm not going to do that on the air, but if I did like a 25-minute or 30-minute or even an hour, 2 hours, like my mind would reach a different state. That's not something I've delved into yet. 25 minutes is the longest I've done at a time, I think. But anyway, I gotta save that for my records, save, and we'll move on from there. Let's see, do I have anything else to say? I don't know. Let me think about it. There should still be an outro coming. Hold on.